everyone, it's Luphisra here, back to play more of the Blackwell Deception. So I can't talk to anything with Tiffany. Try to go back to the agency and see if I could, I don't know, trick him into telling me stuff.
You might be interested in seeing this.
The City Post? Is that who you're working for?
Yes, the biggest paper in the city. Maybe you can be more forthcoming now.
No, doesn't change a thing. Confidential is confidential. You just made doubly sure that I won't say anything.
Hi again.
Yes?
I know you terminated Tiffany's contract. Could you tell me why?
Look, we had a serious complaint and had to let her go. That's all I can say.
You can't tell me who made the complaint.
Absolutely not.
Why the secrecy? Surely Tiffany won't mind. She's dead.
Look, whatever happened at the client's office. And I like to keep my clients. Agencies like mine are struggling to stay in business. People just aren't hiring temps like they used to. So if it's all the same, I'm keeping my mouth shut.
So what feels to me like you guys did something shady, so you're not willing to talk about it.
Well, I'm afraid that I have no choice but to end my article with you.
Huh? What do you mean?
An investigation is like following links in a chain, and you're the last link.
Is this supposed to be a threat? I've told you absolutely nothing.
Oh, don't worry. I'll just write the truth about how you fired her and then refused to comment on her tragic death in the City Post, read by millions. That should do wonders for your reputation, don't you think?
Why are you harassing me? Surely there are other leads you could follow.
Maybe, but I'm on a deadline. It's a shame that I don't have someone else to harass instead. Maybe then I could avoid mentioning this place entirely.
I'm already blackmailing him.
This is blackmail. Fine. The man you want is Ken Sharp of Sharp Sound. Now just get out of here.
Thank you. Okay, let me look up Ken Sharp. After saving. Ken Sharp. Sharp Sound, owned by Kenneth Sharp and Cecile Sharp. Okay. Let's go look for him. Becca, found your phone. Got it in my desk drawer. Swing by when you get the chance and I'll give it back to you.
I'm not taking that.
Just look at it.
Gal Friday Publishing. It says Sharp Sound.
Come on in.
Hi, are you Ken Sharp?
I sure am. What can I do for you, Miss?
Blackwell. I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
Nah, the midnight oil can wait. What's up?
I'm helping out the City Post with an article. I was hoping I could ask you some questions.
The newspaper. Sure. Ask away.
So, what can you tell me about this place?
This place? We're an audio studio. You need any voiceover music or sound design? Then we're your guys.
Did you ever talk to a reporter named Jeremy Sams?
He from the City Post too?
Yeah, I'm covering for him.
Sorry, I don't think I ever met the guy.
Of course.
Do you ever go up to the High Line?
That just opened up, right? Haven't been able to get up there yet.
Do you know anyone named Gavin?
Can't say that I do, no.
I was hoping to talk to you about Tiffany.
Tiffany?
Walters, she used to work for you as a temp.
Did she? I'm afraid we've gone through quite a few temps.
Yeah, I'll bet he has.
So, I'm sorry. She might have worked for us, but I don't remember her.
Of course you don't.
Are you sure you don't remember anyone named Tiffany?
Positive. Sorry, I can't help you.
His expression tells me otherwise, though.
Do you ever deal with a temp agency called Sterling?
Yeah, I use them to hire temps sometimes, when things get busy.
Are you using them now?
Not at the moment. Things are pretty slow.
Do you know anybody named Jamie Graham?
Can't say that I do, no.
Do you know anyone named Elaine Appleton?
Can't say that I do, no.
So, tell me about yourself.
Not much to say. What you see is what you get.
Are you sure you don't remember anyone named Tiffany?
Positive.
Are you sure you don't remember a Tiffany Walters?
I told you, I don't remember anyone named Tiffany Walters.
I spoke to a guy from Sterling. He confirmed she worked here.
For all I know, he might be right, but I don't remember her.
Right, you don't remember your ex-girlfriend, of course.
You filed a complaint with Sterling about Tiffany. You don't remember that?
Have you ever worked with temps? Some are all right, but others, well, there's a reason why they are temping. So sure, I've made my share of complaints, but can I remember any specific one? No.
Were you ever in a relationship with anyone named Tiffany?
Miss Blackwell, was it? I have a wife and 2 kids, and none of them are named Tiffany.
I'm just following a lead. I was told that Tiffany was involved with someone named Ken.
Well, it wasn't me.
Are you sure?
I told you.
Well, thanks.
See you around.
Yeah, obviously he doesn't want to remember.
Rachel told me that Tiffany was seeing a man named Ken.
And that he doesn't remember.
No connection that I can see. Tiffany used to work for a temp agency called Sterling Temp Placements.
I switch as Joey and sneak in.
I'm gonna go in and snoop around. You sit tight. Nothing important back there. I couldn't even begin to guess what this stuff is for. I can't touch it.
And I look at it.
It's a set of drawers. He looks pretty intent on, well, whatever the hell he's actually doing.
Oh, right, photographs. This is from the previous game. Game number 2. Guess, remember that. Blackwell Unbound? This is the saxophone ghost. I don't remember his name. I'm terrible at names I don't remember. I only remember him as a saxophone ghost. Who's that? Oh, that's a piano guy, I think. That's the bonus photo that I had. Not important, though.
I couldn't even begin to guess what this stuff is for. What do you want me to do, scare it?
Whoa, feels like the AC kicked in.
Nothing I can do at his area. There's a drawer under his desk. And I can't see, though.
I can barely make anything out in here. It's kind of black. I have no idea what it is. I can't see a thing. It looks like a letter. I can't make out what it says.
I think I know. I need to get his number. I need to call Ken Sharp so that I can actually see what that is.
It's kind of black. I have no idea what it is. I can't see a thing.
So yeah, I need to call him, but I need his number for that. How do I do that? I don't have his number. How do I get his number? Do I talk to him? Maybe I can ask him about his number?
That's an interesting picture up there. I don't recognize the band.
Well, you wouldn't. That was my dad's group. They haven't been together since the 60s.
What happened to them?
Oh, his dad's group?
They died, I think.
What?
He never talked about it much.
Who's that man in the photograph?
Him? That's my dad. He and I started this place about 20
Yeah, I saw. It could be Becca's phone? Yeah, I remember. It's Becca's phone, not his phone. So do we have to call Becca?
Well, thanks.
See you around.
Oh, maybe I can sneak in and get Becca's number. Okay, let me go over there. And Joey. Sleep in, Joey. I need Becca's number.
Nothing interesting in there.
Nothing? I want her number.
Boy, if I could touch it, it says
Go Friday Publishing. Hold on. And it's Friday. Ah, Becca's number. Right. Okay. Hello, Hermit. Welcome to the stream. Oh, which, by the way, I suddenly remembered, random. You know, it's nothing related to the game, but something I want to talk about. I recently learned, because I was watching a YouTube video, apparently, Broken Sword 6 is shelved for the most part. Because apparently, the publisher pulled out. So they don't have enough funds to continue making Broken Sword 6. So I don't know when that game's going to be released. Yeah, it sucks. And I mean, they just started the Kickstarter for Broken Sword 2 Reforged. And so we know that's gonna come. They started one for Broken Sword 1 as well. That game got released. So they got all the money they needed almost immediately after the Kickstarter started. And so I'm have high hopes for Broken Sword 2 Reforged. It's not gonna come out so soon though. I'm hoping to get enough money from BS2 Reforged so that they can make Broken Sword 6. Because come on, I want a Broken Sword game. Give me more. But yeah, something sad that I learned.
I'm gonna go in and snoop around. You sit tight.
Maybe they're successful. Yeah, I'm hoping they're successful. I like the game. Which, by the way, random talk about Broken Sword. I see a lot of people commenting on how Broken Sword like 1 Reforged is not as good as the director's cut. You know, when the game came out. And I was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? It's literally the same game, like the original game, but in 4K graphics. I know some people say that there's some like details and what knickknacks that are not in the game that is in the OG, but I'm like, you can switch between the two, right? If you want to play in the OG like pixel graphics, you can. If you want to play in 4K, you can. I don't understand why people say the director's cut is better. Because I played the director's cut, it's not better. Like, sure, they added like Nico's part, so you get to see what Nico was doing, but if you ever played the OG or the Reforged, how do you say that director's cut is better and that the Reforged sucks? Because, like, the director's cut off at a lot of important points in the gameplay. Like, I don't get it. Someone tell me why.
Like a love letter, and it's signed Tiffany. Sounds like our boy Ken knew Tiffany after all.
Ken, last night was the most magical night of my life. I never knew I could feel this way. I'll be dreaming of you tonight. XOXO Tiffany. Let's jog his memory.
So, tell me, Ken, why do you have a letter from Tiffany in your desk?
What? Oh, what is this? Are you sneaking in here while I'm not around? Is that it?
Maybe I'm just psychic.
Yeah? Well, maybe I'll just call the police.
I just want to find out what happened to Tiffany.
Look, whatever happened to her, it had nothing to do with me.
Maybe you're right, but maybe you can tell me what happened so I can decide for myself?
You're a real piece of work. Fine. Go on. Ask what you want.
So, tell me about Tiffany?
Look, you breathe a word of this, and I'll have the police on you so fast it'll make your head spin.
Lips are sealed.
All right. Yes, I knew Tiffany. You probably
So
guessed.
you're cheating on your wife.
I gathered that.
I was working late. We were doing spots for a new TV commercial, and she volunteered to help out. I thought she just wanted the overtime, but turns out she wanted something else.
So she came on to you?
Yeah, she wouldn't take no for an answer. Look, I'm a married guy with 2 kids. I know it was wrong. I just couldn't help myself. It was like a drug.
Yeah, you tell yourself that.
Completely crazy. I should have noticed that right off.
Crazy? How so?
My God, the girl was obsessed. Showing up at the office at all hours, stalking me, calling my house at night. She kept saying we were destined to be together, that it was fate. Even when I tried to break it off, she wouldn't take no for an answer. God, what a nightmare. I should have broken it off long before I did.
So you did end things with her?
God, yes. I had to. Even if I wasn't a married man, the woman was a complete head
So she's a psycho.
The stars and fate and destiny. She even started calling me Turtle Dove. What a nightmare.
Turtle Dove?
So I buckled down and ended it. And she didn't take it well. I had to get a restraining order put on her. I've learned my lesson, that's for sure. No more temps. And definitely no more affairs. My life is with my wife and family.
Why do you keep the letter if the relationship is over?
I don't know. Nostalgia, maybe? It was nice at the beginning. She was crazy, but she saw something in me. I suppose I still want
You're still a terrible man.
Especially now that she's, gone.
So you're through with Tiffany completely?
Yes. I'm sorry she's gone, but I'm glad she's out of my life. What a total embarrassment she was.
So you're...
Yeah. What?
Well, thanks.
See you around.
Okay. What's turtle dove mean, though? Why do you call him turtle dove of all things? Of all the names to call your lover, you call him turtle dove. Like, why? They're 2 different animals. Why is it turtle dove? I know it's probably not important, but it's just, I'm just curious. Okay, Joey.
Stay close to the door, Red. I'm heading in.
After you, Joey.
Okay.
Hello again.
It's a type of bird? Really? Turtle dove? Is that what the name is? Let me look it up. I thought it was 2 different animals combined. Let me look at that. Turtle dove. Apparently it is. It doesn't look anything like a turtle though. Why is it called turtle dove? Why is the name turtle dove? It's named after its distinct purring call, which sounds like tur-tur or tor-tor. So why is it turtle? Why do you spell it like turtle dove, as in like animal name? If it's like tur-tur or tor-tor, why do you call it the tor-tor bird? The tor-tor dove or the tur-tur dove? Why do you have to spell it like turtle? Who the fuck came up with the name and be like, oh, it sounds like tur-tur, like T, like, but let's spell it like turtle. Turtle dove is what it is. Like, what? Who the fuck came up with that name and thought it was a good idea? Apparently, it says on Google that the word developed from tortor into turtla before becoming turtle dove. Why do you have to change it? Stick to it, mind you. Bird's name predates the use of turtle to describe the reptile, which was originally called a tortue in Old French. Often linked to themes of love and faithfulness. Now I'm curious, why do you change, like, why is it like, then why is turtle called a turtle? It's not relevant to the game, but I'm now curious. But let's talk to Tiffany first.
Look, you're gonna have to face facts. Ken is through with you.
You're lying. Deep down, he still loves me. He just can't admit it.
He told me himself.
I don't believe you.
Why do you think
I never.
Look, you're gonna.
Deep down.
He told me.
I don't.
You called Ken your turtle dove, right?
That's private. How did you know about that?
He told me himself. All this mooning? Thinks it's pathetic.
What?
It's over, kid. You want my advice? Forget about him and get on with your... Well, you need to get over him is all I'm saying.
No. I need to hear it from him. Just one more time. From him.
Hey, wait a sec.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Let me guess. That was Tiffany.
Why didn't you stop her?
Because I can't touch ghosts?
Right, forget it. Let's just get after her.
Why won't you look at me? Can't you look me in the eye at least?
I have to talk to him.
Come on in.
No wonder the option for confirm it's over is still there.
So you're through with Tiffany completely?
Yes. Like I told you, I'm sorry she's gone, but I'm glad she's out of my life.
What?
What a total embarrassment she was.
Embarrassment? Ken, you don't mean that.
Do you mean that?
Of course I do. With that squeaky, lovey-dovey voice and the way she'd throw herself at me in public.
I thought you liked it.
You'd think a guy would like that kind of attention, but she was so needy and desperate about it.
Desperate? I was not desperate. It was fate.
She said we were destined to be together, that it was fate.
I don't believe what I'm hearing. We're supposed to be together. Gavin said so.
I don't know why I didn't end it right then and there, but like an idiot, I just kept being reeled back in.
I gave up everything for you. I gave up my life for you.
She thought I'd give up my entire life for her, but that was crazy. I only hope she found some happiness before she died.
Died? Died? Am I dead to you? Is that it? I can't even look at you. I've got to get out of here. I need air.
Whoa, did you feel that? Feels like the AC kicked in. Anyway, take my advice. You meet a guy you like, don't smother him. He'll just run away.
I'll keep that in mind.
I have no guys in my life. I only have a ghost.
Thanks.
He doesn't count.
Sure. You know, feels kind of good to talk about it. And I hope you'll be discreet about it.
Don't worry.
Okay. Sucks for him to be cheating on his wife, especially when he has kids, or just cheating in general. But I have to say this. Of all the ghosts that I've encountered throughout playing this game, and there are 3 games in total, this is the 4th one. She is the most pathetic ghost I've ever met. I'm sorry to say this. I know people like her exist in real life, but that's pathetic. Thinking you're so obsessed with someone that you just keep stalking them and all that, and you're like, oh my god, like I can never understand that. You know, like if all the other ghosts that I might have shitted about, you know, like even the Countess, on some level I can see why. You know, like they become the way they do and they can't move on. I mean, I agree or think it's good or anything to hold on to those like thoughts. But yeah, even the Countess. I mean, look, here's the thing about the Countess though. She lost part of her soul, part of herself. And also she went crazy. She pretty much like have a supernatural, like spiritual, like mental illness. No, until the very end. As crazy as it sounds, okay? And her story is like I've said about the entirety of the third game, it's not great. It's not well thought up of. So all I can make it is with what I have. And so the Countess is pretty much nuts. Now I don't agree with what she did. Okay, but unfortunately in real life there are people who, like her, believe that they're saving people by killing them or doing horrible things to them. They're just psychos. Okay, but a lot of them, in a way, I guess they're sick, you know? Like they're not right in the head. I don't agree with them. I don't like them. I don't think it's okay or anything. But on some level, when you learn their story, you kind of be like, yeah, you know, I kind of see it. You know, I kind of get what they're coming from. Even for the Countess, I don't like her story, as I mentioned before. Like, I don't like the explanation of, oh, the bond broke. Who broke the bond? She did. And then she went nuts. Because all the knowledge fell into her head and then she went crazy because she couldn't handle it. I feel like it's stupid that they could come up with a better storyline for her. But even that's better than this. Like, this one is like, I don't know. Like, the guy made it so clear he doesn't like you. And, like, and I guess it's the same you can say for a lot of the other, like, people in cults. You know, I can never understand their mindset, but those people are so brainwashed that they are not in the right state of mind anymore. Like any normal person, when you hear what they're saying or what the cult leader is saying, you're like, that's fucking nuts. That's crazy. That's not normal, you know? But they don't see it that way, you know? It's like they just think that whatever the cult leader says is right, and they just blindly believe. Like even sometimes, like where the cult leader tells you, oh, you got to commit suicide. Like I've watched several documentaries where there are like several cults where they just all committed suicide because they believed in the cause or because the leader told them to. Like, you're fucking sick. You're lost your mind. I think that's what happened to her. Pathetic excuse in her case, especially. And again, I don't condone cheating. I'm not okay with cheating. The guy's an ass. Okay, he's terrible for cheating. But come on. He broke things off with you. Okay, you should let it go. But you're just so fucking obsessed that you, killed yourself for him? For what? Like he's the only man out there? There's no other can sharps in the world? Honestly.
Tiffany?
You think I'm pathetic, don't you?
I do.
Oh, no, not at all.
I do. Why did I act like such a love-struck little girl?
I don't know. We all act stupid sometimes.
Not like this. I couldn't stop myself. Why? Just because Gavin said we should be together?
Gavin, is that the psychic who told you to stick with Ken?
Yeah, and I believed every last word. Why would I believe something so stupid?
And she woke up a bit too late.
I thought about. When he told me it was over, I was just angry I couldn't be with him. Gavin told me not to worry, that it was destiny, that we'd be together. It took me over. I wouldn't get out of bed. I just stopped.
I'm sorry.
I need to get out of here. How do I get out of here?
I can help you get out.
Hey, Tiff, I got something for you.
What is it?
It's something to help you on your way.
Just 1 minute. Look at him, working at his desk like nothing's happened. I'm ready.
It's Gavin. He uses some kind of psycho power to brainwash these people.
Good.
Just head towards it. That's all you need to do.
It feels like Gavin. Isn't that strange? Believing his words, accepting the lie. It felt good. Wonderful. I want to hate him, but I can't. It's like it doesn't matter.
We'll get to the bottom of this. I promise. Do you know where we can find him?
No. He'd come over to my place. He'd talk and it all seemed so clear. That's all I can remember. It's all fading.
You better go.
Thank you. I don't know what else to say.
No need to thank us. It's what we do.
Well, I guess this is it.
You should hate his guts. Gavin's a horrible person.
She all taken care of?
Yeah, I think she'll be all right. At least I hope.
Like the
so. This makes
previous window look of this place more.
It was so. Pointless.
Yeah, same.
There had to be a point.
She didn't even like Ken. Not really.
Haven't you ever been in love?
That's not what I mean. You don't just die of a broken heart. Not literally.
Maybe. Maybe not. But whoever this Gavin guy is, he put her up to it. I think we owe our friend Lisa another visit.
Actually, I want to correct Rosa on this part. Broken heart syndrome is actually a thing. You technically can die of a broken heart. I know most people don't, obviously. Most people, like 99.9% of people, don't just die just because someone breaks up with you. But technically speaking, okay, I'm just speaking about it medically, you can technically die of a broken heart. It's very, 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 very extremely rare, but it does happen. I'm just saying. And also about the look, yes, I agree. Like I said before when I started this game, the graphics on one hand, it's kind of enhanced because obviously this is the 4th game in the series. Comparing it to the previous 3, some parts of the game, like the whole background, does look better, right? It's made more modern. But then other parts of the game feel like it's a downgrade, like the character's design, for example. That's a downgrade. The design for like the pathway of the spiritual area, that's a downgrade. You know, for some reason, like even with the older games, it's older. And obviously it's more pixelated, it's not as detailed, but for some reason at the same time, it's more detailed. You know, like there's more like personal touch to it as compared to this one where it looks more modern, like a more modern like pixel game. But on the other hand, it feels more generic. You get what I mean? I don't know why I decided to go with this route though. But yeah, her death is kind of pointless. And to the end, here's the thing. Like, I just want to talk about it before I forget. The whole thing with Tiffany. It's like at the end, again, something that they did with also the Countess previously. It's like, oh, I don't hate him. I should, but I don't. It feels so nice. And it's like, really? Again, this guy's an asshole and somehow people are just forgiving him for all the death. Like, oh, you don't hate him. I lost my fucking life, but I don't hate him. What? It's like if the Countess, like, you know, like she did all the horrible things. At the very end, all the characters, none of them mentioned that you're a horrible person. You killed so many people. You know, or the person hurt you, and it's like, oh, I don't hate anybody. Like, everyone's forgiving. Like, what message are you trying to send? It's love? It's not really love, though. Here's the thing, like, she thought she loved Ken, but not really, and then what? The only explanation I have would be, like, Gavin has some psychic powers that he uses to brainwash these people. But at the very end, see, the problem with this concept is that when they get to the area with the spirit where we help them move on, in all the previous games, all of the ghosts that we helped, it always clears their mind. Even with the Countess, in a sense. Even with the Countess, it clears the mind, and then whatever they do, it's their own choice. So it's not like any like of their past life stuff would affect them at that point, because it clears up. We help them move on. That's how they move on. And with that concept in mind, you want to go down that route that Kevin's an evil asshole who manipulated you to the point where you lost your fucking life over a stupid, pointless reason. And you're like, oh, I don't hate him. He's so good. What the fuck's wrong with you? It's like similarly, I complain about the Countess, where somehow people just gloss over the fact that she killed so many people. Just because what? She lost part of her soul or something. And they made it that, you know, the Countess did it on her own. She was the one who broke the bond. Unlike in the second game where they made it feel like it's like her spirit guide that did it. The spirit guide just escaped. But no, in the third they reconned that and they made it so that she was the one who broke the bond and broke her own fucking mind. But at the end, somehow, despite it being her own action, people gloss over the fact that she killed so many people. Like, oh, it's done and over with. Yeah, whatever. It's all good. Move on. Forgiven. What the fuck? Why do you have to keep doing that? Are there no consequences to any of the actions in these games? Is that it? Is like, I don't see any so-called consequence at this point. Kill people? Oh, never mind. No investigation. Everything's suicide. Nothing. No police is shit. I don't get it with this series. I don't. I know people love it, and I know like people who love the series will hear me ranting about it and be like, "What the fuck?" But I'm sorry, I don't get it. You don't exactly the judge. We just bring them. But here's the thing, though. I know we are not the judge, and the problem is the judge doesn't appear. The supposed judge of the sinners is the demon, and the problem with this that you make this a series. You brought the supposed judge in on the first game. You show him in the first game. He doesn't appear in the second game when the countess dies. He doesn't appear in the third game when the countess officially passes over, even to the end of not letting go her sin, so to speak. So the judge doesn't do anything. So the spiritual judge that supposedly exists doesn't give a shit. And then the police somehow, whenever something happens, it's suicide. It's this and that. There's no really investigation. I mean, yes, there is like a detective in this game. So maybe there's more story with the police detective and the whole like mystery with Jeremy because he is murdered, obviously. So I'm hoping maybe they can change my mind and make it so that Gavin don't just die and then move on. That maybe there's some kind of punishment for him. Like the police would finally do something about these criminals. Like, or at the very least, the game would show like, oh, there's a news report or something saying this is the criminal that killed all these people, but they died, but case closed or something like that. The problem now is like, no matter if it's spiritually or physically on the mortal realm, there's no consequence. Mystery done, forget, move on. And the problem is they like to include all these like emails and whatnot that you seem to receive like as sort of like a Easter egg reference to the previous games. But that's it? You are able to include all these little references with all these emails and you can't like what? Make me see an news article of, hey, case closed on like this thing. We investigated and found out that it's a countess who killed all these people. Something, no, nothing. And then the demon never shows up again. He's supposedly the judge of sinners, but he never shows up again. Even though he's mentioned in the third game, he doesn't show up again. And then you have Madeline, who until now we don't see her. Is she gonna show up at the end of the game as like an after credit thing? Like suddenly, bam! Hello, Madeline. What you doing? Like, where's the story with that? Why is she not showing up anymore? Because what? Countess' story is closed and she's done and over with? Like, where is she? You made her so important to the story, showing up so much in the throughout game 3, and she suddenly doesn't show up anymore in this one. Guess it's because you expect this to be a detective game. It's not. It's more of a drama mystery. But see, the problem here, though, that you are kind of the detective for ghosts. You're actually looking into all these like murders. Why are these people dying? And the game is expecting you to act like a detective. You research on these victims, who they're in contact with, who met them, who they visited. You're trying to look for their killer. What happened to them? You do all this investigation stuff like a detective would. But then that's it. It's like they want to be a detective game, but then they stop. Just suddenly out of nowhere. Like, I don't know. Like I said with the previous game, it's like the plot's all over the place. Like, they don't know what they want to make, so to speak. You know, and because of how we play the game and how we go about investigating all these like murders and the ghosts and why they die, it feels like a detective game. because you are acting just like a detective, except for ghosts. It's kind of like Nancy Drew, you know, but she butts in on everyone's humans' business. She goes about investigating all these cases, like just butting into people's business that you don't have to. But then this one is not. Detective is related to kind of law, do investigation, but not technically. But she's a spiritual detective, though. I mean, the term is like detective, but like it's similar. Like Nancy Drew technically is not working with law. She investigates all these like cases anyway. You know, and sometimes a lot of the criminals in those cases, like in the Nancy Drew games too, get away with what they do. So apparently, Nancy Drew just lets them go or something. No, she's not working with law. She is like sort of a private detective, I guess, like an amateur detective, but she does the job. So in this case, like in the first game, she's sent to do investigation on the suicide, right? As like a reporter thing. Not like related to law, I guess, but she does the investigation anyways. And then in this one, she's like sort of helping her friend. She's roped in because of her friend's death. And then we see the ghost and everything. So she goes about trying to investigate. Oh, this person is murdered. They died. We're looking into it. But then that's it. We don't get a conclusion or anything. These people died. That's it. I know for some cases, they already ruled the case as a suicide, especially in the third game where it's really hard to pinpoint the death to a human because the Countess is dead at that point. They're not technically alive anymore. But like in cases of when there's a human involved, like in the second game when the Countess is alive, you're telling me no one spotted anything? Like the person is choked, no investigation is really done, no clues left behind, and it's not like the Countess was doing anything to really protect herself, but somehow she doesn't left any fingerprints. There's no hair, no nothing. She just walks in, kills people, down. And then for the saxophone ghost, he was on the bridge in a public location. A guy as big of his size couldn't fight off an old lady, a frail old lady, gets choked, and apparently no one figures out that it's like a murder. He was choked. There obviously like a choking thing, because that's the case with choking. You would see the marks on the neck. Somehow no one notices anything. That's an investigation that didn't happen. It's not like they say, oh, we investigated, but we couldn't find any leads. It's just dropped. No answers from that game ever. And then in this game, the police shows up, but it says, oh, we'll call you so that you can, you know, talk about the case. But until this point, they haven't called yet. They just announced that Jeremy's like dead, but why have you even called me to talk to me about it? I know whatever I say you won't believe me, but hello. I don't know. I know maybe like because it's related to ghosts, it's harder for it to be connected to law and police and have a conclusion there. But you have your conclusion with us as the ghost team? Give me some answers or some kind of retribution. I mean, you brought the devil in the first game. This is the problem here. You brought the devil in, who is supposed to be a judge and is so intent of going after the alcoholic, the deacon, and then he doesn't show up for the rest of the series. So I understand not being able to link it to police and have like the police punish these people because it's like ghost related, but spiritually you don't see anything. All the ghosts so far is like peacefully moves on into the light, and they all say, oh, I feel so at peace and it's nice and bye-bye. You don't see burning fire or something, you know? So I feel like it's bad. Like you show the demon, but then that's it. All of the ghosts, no matter how much they sin, they move on to that plane and they just move on. You don't see any of the sinners getting punished. They just move into the light and that's it. So I'm kind of upset about that. Blackwell, it seems like a giant salt fest after the first title at this point. I know, like, I try sometimes not to be that salty over a game series, and I know I do go on salt rants, but if you have watched me rank all the games I played in 2024 and 2025, I try to talk about good things about a game. You know, when I play a game, I mean, sure, I may not like it as much, I may not like even rank it super high or anything, but I try to bring up good points from the game. But so far, apart from the graphics, which this game has a downgrade in terms of graphics, like, I have nothing good to say. Like I told you, the rest of the games are so bad that the first title seems to be legendary at this point. You know what I mean? Like, the only way the first game was so good is because the rest of the games in the series suck so much that I'm like, you are God sent, first game. You are the best. You're an angel. Like, I love you. Only because of the rest of the game are like shit. Like, honestly, like, because at the first game, at least you see that, like, I mean, you understand that because the girls are pretty much, like, technically in the real world, they committed suicide. There's nothing that the police can actually do at that point because, like, any investigation that they have is because they lost it, you know? They have, like, a mental illness or something, a breakdown, and then they committed suicide. There's nothing physically that the police can do. But you see the demon. You see that there is a consequence to it. At the end, of course, they went the route where the alcohol let go of his sin. The demon's like, okay, you let go. You didn't hold on to sin. I feel no sinners here anymore. You can move on now. You know, there is some kind of conclusion there where you see there is kind of a judgment. And if you don't let go of your sin, there's a punishment there for waiting for you, right? But if you do let go, you know, you can move on, and you will be at peace. You know, I think maybe it's because I'm religious, so in a way, it's not like it's a different. You know, there is some conclusion there. You see that there's some kind of consequence to the action, so to speak. But the rest of the series, you don't really have that. And the worst part, I feel like, because they introduced it in the first game. If they didn't include the whole demon thing in the first game, I wouldn't have complained that much about it because nothing happens to the first game. I might be a bit annoyed, but I'm like, sure, whatever. But the first game, like I said, you kind of peaked with your first game. You have all these conclusions, the action, the story building. You know, it's not the best game I played, but there is a build to the story and then a conclusion at the end, and it's like really nice. You know. But because of that, I'm expecting the same as the first game for the rest of the games in the series, but you don't get that. So at the very end, I'm always like, wait, that's it? That's it? Like, it just ends there? Where is the conclusion? Where is the more? Because you have that in the first game, so to speak. You have the kind of conclusion, but that's it. That's... The rest of the game don't have it. I'm just like, I see all this, like, the countess moving on, nothing happens. Like, why? It's just, yeah. I even say with Lauren, she pushed the countess off the building. The only reference to the countess' death in the third game is when she's talking to Joey, and then they end up fighting. What happens to Lauren? Did the police investigate? Did it say that, oh, like, it's ruled to be suicide because she lost her mind, like, because we talked to her friends and she was depressed? Like, I don't know. You could have included a news article or something we can find somewhere, and or maybe they could make a comment about it. Not that difficult to include, right? But you don't have that. They just jump over that fact, and then the countess story is over. She moved on in the third game, and that's it. Bye-bye. I will never get answers to that. Not really. Only played the first one. The first one is the best. Like, honestly, at this point, if you don't play the rest of the games in the series, it's fine. Like I will recommend the first one for people who really want to play the game, like the Blackwell series, but I won't recommend the rest of the games, especially the third one. Like, the second one, you can still try it out. I mean, the end is a bit abrupt for me, but still all right. There is a flow of the story there. The ending's a bit erratic, but I can still handle that one. That one's still okay. Third one you can skip completely. Okay, that is just shit all over. There's nothing good I can say about the third one except the graphics is good. I like the graphics, but the storyline, the character, it's not great. At all. The fourth one so far, it started off okay, but then it's like it feels weird now. Like, again, the problem with this series, like they try to be so vague with the clues and everything in the beginning because they want to build up the climax of it being dramatic at the end, but then because of that they miss something. It feels like out of nowhere, like the plot, like, oh, I never really thought it true. I just want it to be dramatic, so I'm just building it slowly, making it so mysterious, and then you see the background or something and it's like, oh, that's it. Expecting more. It was just, I want more, but then it's just disappointing. I'm hoping maybe I want to see maybe the policeman did some would be more useful because I still have his number here. He hasn't called me yet. Please don't tell me I have to be the one to call the police and say, hey, I want to take my statement now. Want to talk? That'll be shit, right? That's not how police works.
Yes.
Hi, Lisa?
It's you. Have you learned anything?
I learned something about Tiffany Walters.
And?
She's dead. Lisa?
Did Gavin kill her? Don't come back until you know for sure.
I've learned something about Gavin and Tiffany.
You have?
I don't want to say it out here on the street. Can I come in?
Yes.
And that's it. Gavin told her to throw herself at this man, and it destroyed her.
Tiffany. You should have seen her when she walked in here. So lost. Trying to find her place in life. Drifting from job to job, never finding what she wanted. She was a woman who wouldn't let herself be happy.
Was her aura blocked as well?
Look, she needed to believe that her unhappiness was beyond her control. I gave that to her.
You hear that? She's doing a...
Oh my god.
Judge me if you want, but she came to me.
And then you sent her to Gavin.
Gavin and I have an arrangement.
So you're willing to be
determined to be unhappy no matter what.
You're willing to
send them to Gavin.
And then they die?
I don't know that, and neither do you. Just because this one died doesn't mean they all
died.
I give you two names. Look into the other one, and don't come back until you do.
I'll be back.
Jeremy died. Tiffany died. You don't see a connection there? They all went to Gavin and they died. So this lady is like, oh yeah, all these people going to Gavin is ending up dead. But I have an arrangement with him. No, I'm not like involved with the murder. It's not my fault they came to me talking to me. What the fuck's wrong with you? She's acting like the Countess. I'm sorry, is there a repeat of Unbound? I don't know why it is like this game series like to rehash like storylines that they did for previous like games. They had Unbound, and then the third game like Blackwell Convergence feels like they're trying to do Unbound, but like for Los Angeles Blackwell failed miserably. Obviously, it was a shit show all over. The plot was all over the place. And then with this one, it's like the Countess just moved on. I have this crazy lady again. Oh, I'm a psychic. I killing people or helping to kill people. I have nothing to do wrong. Not my fault. Why? I had one Countess is enough. Why do you want to give me another crazy bitch? Kind of have a normal evil character for once. Of course, I'm unable to establish love for most of the... Yeah, same. Like, it's rare for me to come across a game where I hate most of the characters that I'm playing. Like, I'm annoyed at them at this point. Like, it's like, I don't establish any love. It's like, weird. Even for the Nancy Drew games, if you ever see me play a Nancy Drew game or you see me on the streams, you might notice that I shit on it a lot, especially on Nancy, but I don't hate her. Not really. I have a love-hate relationship with her, honestly. I hate how she's so like tactless and rude to the people she's talking to sometimes. I can still love some of the other characters and stuff. I mean, you know, there is something there. Nolan and Bess and George are cool. Nat is cool. Some of the game have like good like locations and plot lines. It's not all of them are terrible, but I've hated pretty much all of the games in this series. It's the fourth game in this series, and you see me hating on every single one of them. That's rare. I don't hate on usually on all the games in one series. I always have like one or two that I like, and one that I maybe like feel like meh about, but I always have good things to say about the series. So far, I have nothing with this series. Like I said, the only good thing I can say about this series is that the rest of the games suck so bad. The first one is amazing. That's not a good thing to say about series. That the only thing the reason why the first game is so amazing is because the rest of the games in the series suck so hard. I don't want to be a salty fest throughout the entire game series, but like, I don't see good things with this one. I don't know. Maybe it's because I played too many games that are so good, and I don't want to keep bringing up the golden classics because, as y'all said to me before, it's not a good comparison. Because they are the golden classics for a reason. So I'll bring up something a bit different. Okay, I won't bring up the golden classics. Kathy Rain 2. That one was great. It's bizarre. Right? It's bizarre. Kathy Rain is not like, to me, a golden classic. It feels similar to this game in a sense. There are spiritual, supernatural things involved. But somehow, as bizarre it gets, they make it work. Like this storyline. They tie together in the end. As crazy as it ends up, and really, it goes really bizarre. Crazy. It goes crazy. Like, you've seen my playthrough for Kathy Rain 2. It's crazy at the end, okay? It gets, like, super wild. But somehow it made it work. Despite how crazy it got, and it's out there. Really out there. They went from, like, a serious, kind of like mystery game. You're investigating all these detective stuff, but then at the end it's bizarre. There's all this supernatural crazy hell shit, like what, but somehow it works. They just tied together. It just works. I don't know how they do it. It just works. I enjoyed Kathy overall narrative, but Kathy herself doesn't integrate herself to me. She doesn't make me feel irritated. That's the thing. Like, Kathy Rain is a bitch. I'm gonna put it out there. She's a bitch. But see, the problem with that, though, despite the fact that she is a bitch and she acts like a bitch and she knows that she's a bitch, okay, it's not like she pretends otherwise, but the issue there is she doesn't irritate you, It's kind of like Sherlock Holmes, okay, where he's an asshole. He's an asshole. The people around him knows he's an asshole. And most of the times you'll be irritated with an asshole, right? But somehow Sherlock Holmes works. You don't feel all that like annoyed by him or irritated. It's just who he is, but it doesn't affect the story. You still end up loving this story and appreciating the character themselves, even if they're not your favorite character, even if they're not your favorite person. Like Kathy Reed too, Kathy herself is not my favorite character. I like her best friend more, but I don't get annoyed while playing her, and of all the comments that she's making are things that she's not willing to do. I don't find myself wanting to shit on everything that she does. I might throw a bit of salt here and there, like season my gameplay a little bit with like some commentary, but I still enjoy the game overall. I still rank it pretty high because it's not a bad game. As bizarre as it gets, and the plot goes all over the place. Because like I said, it starts off with like a serious, this is a murder case. We're a private investigator. We are trying to investigate the murders. And you would think that it's a normal case, but it's a Kathy Rain game. So towards the end there's like supernatural shit involved. There's like a lot of craziness. You can transport to another world even. But it doesn't feel bad. It's as bizarre as it gets. It's just, I appreciate it. I like the narrative. It's fun. And the problem, because of that, it's like this is, I think, in the same category to me. You have like supernatural elements, but you're investigating actual stuff that happened. Suicide, murder, people dying. And you want to help these girls move on. And it feels like you're just going investigating, trying to move on, and then, but it just like stops. Like, I don't know. It's not even as bizarre as Kathy Rain, but somehow it just doesn't work out. Like the plot goes all over the place. But it doesn't tie in together. It just feels like it's like I mentioned before, like different people worked on the game. They didn't communicate what they wanted to do with the game. Then they just mashed the game together and tried to make it work. and it just feels a bit off to me. Like, I get what they're trying to do, but it didn't succeed at what they're doing, is how I feel. It's a bit bizarre. Not a good bazaar. Okay, this is not a good bazaar. Okay, she doesn't want to talk to me. I gotta go back to Jamie. How do I find out the password to
Wayne
Jamie?
Appleton was Jamie's English professor. Mine too, oddly enough.
I don't know why she keeps making a comment. Is this something that I want to know about? And yeah, Jeremy's case is not closed yet. You see, with like Tiffany's case is closed, so Jeremy one's still open because she's connected to Gavin. New J Park. Hi, Los Angeles. It's been ages since you came to the gallery. How are you? Just want to let you know that Cloud Auden's The Dark Lady still hasn't been sold. I remember you were once interested in it. I can give you a good price if you still want it, Josie Park. See? They can come up with so much time to think up of all these like little nitbits with all these like previous characters. The Park Gallery, Josie Park, Paul, Susan, Nishanti, and they can come up with a good conclusion to tie up all the loose ends in this game. It's been all the effort thinking up all this extra stuff that technically you don't even need, honestly speaking, but not the actual like plot line in the game itself. So what about this Jamie? Her ghost isn't here though. Like, with my experience with the previous victims, she's probably dead. So what happened to her? I can't see her ghost anywhere. Where did she die then? Where did she haunt? And the fact that like she keeps talking about her professor. I thought I could go look for the professor and talk to them. But not really.
Looks like a post. I've heard of those.
I don't know the passcode to the laptop. Is something I'm able to find?
Pretty typical for a college kid, I guess.
Why is there no notes to tell me what the password is? There's the passcode for the door, but not the passcode to the laptop. So you somehow, Jamie cannot remember a 4-digit code for the door, but he can remember the password for the laptop. I don't get it. I need to take a break here. I need to cool myself down a bit. Get back to the mystery, you know. So I'm gonna go stretch for a bit. Go to the bathroom maybe. Chill. Be less salty when I get back. You know? So for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care.